I think one thing that people often get wrong is thinking that every workout has to be some massive gargantuan effort. Like you have to be setting PRs every time, or you have to be sweating your balls off and just feeling like garbage at the end, exhausted. It's just not true. A lot of times I would say most of the time my workouts are not even close to that. I'll get tired, but I'm not going to exhaust myself, and I don't measure the quality of my workout based on how much I sweat. It's based on the quality of the movement. If I made some significant progress in either range of motion or just cleanness of the movement, did it feel easier? These are internal metrics that are more important, frankly, than external metrics, because everybody's starting from a different place, right? Everyone's different weight, different body fat composition, different experience with different exercises. So who cares ultimately how much you bench press, besides anyone under 25 years old who thinks they're going to get a lot of women from having a lot of large pecs. But maybe that is true. I'll probably never know, and that's my loss. But for the majority of working adults, especially if you're an adult with family, it's just like you have to be realistic about what's safe for you, what's going to maintain your physical function and your ability to do basic things. Because if you work out so hard and get so stiff that your body is too stiff and tight to do normal everyday things, that's your loss, and that was your mistake, and it's gonna suck, right? So instead, I like to work on function first. I like to think about that always, and I'll exhaust myself in my hobbies. Like if I go surfing or something, then I want to exhaust myself. But to prepare for surfing, I need to make sure that my body functions well so it can then go do the stuff at high intensity. So I'll give you an example. Something that I'm doing today, not doing it every day, but just something today that I realized, like, hey, my inner thighs are a little stiff, my groin is stiff. So what I'm doing is taking a weight, elevating my heels, feet are nice and wide apart, and I'm just sinking down, trying to get used to maintaining a little more abduction and external rotation while I sink into deeper hip flexion. And I'm actually frankly disappointed in how far I get, which is why I'm working on it now, because I feel like this is a limiter, right? The less my hips can move, the fewer options I have when I'm on my surfboard or when I'm wrestling with my son. And if one day I want to take jujitsu or something, I can see that I really want to have better hip mobility, more strength that I can express in deeper ranges of motion. And so what I'm going to do is just explore, right? I'm just going to explore different options here. Stuck, I think if I'm more forward, I get a little more stuck, a little more back, a little deeper. So what I'm trying to do is figure out where I can make a little more progress, and also shifting side to side. And I really find having the heels up, pushing the balls of my feet into the floor really changes things. Having heels down is really not the same. And now I can do a little experimentation with a different position, really loading onto the balls of my feet, just kind of shifting side to side. This is something I've talked about with the Asian squat. Just trying to get used to loading in this position, because a lot of times I find this gets weak. I lose the ability to load forward and use this posterior chain just from sitting. Sitting in a chair all day, or sitting in the car on a road trip. Like, it just feels like, for me, it just kills my high hamstrings so quickly. And getting into these positions just helps restore that. Just exploring so I can expand and then enjoy the range of motion that I now own from doing my exploration and expansion. The big takeaway, again, is that you're not here to focus on impressing anybody necessarily. If you're a barbell athlete or whatever, you're a professional weightlifter, you're a bodybuilder, okay, fine, maybe you really want to impress somebody, that's fine. Maybe you're a YouTube personality who's trying to get rich selling, not steroids, but supplements while you take steroids. So you got to do a lot of stuff to try to make yourself look as buff as possible. That's cool too. But if you're a normal person, you're a parent with kids, you got a full-time job, you got bills to pay, maybe you don't want to work out super hard 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. Maybe it's just not reasonable, and that's okay, right? It's totally okay. And that's something I think people just need to keep in mind. Your workouts don't have to beat you up. Your workouts can be simple. It could be a couple push-ups. It could be a couple rounds of push-ups, some kind of a squat or a lunge, something that helps you with your shoulder mobility, something that just prepares you to do stuff that you want to be able to do. Nothing fancy. Keep it easy. Keep improving your function. Keep making your body better. And always remember that pain sucks. Life shouldn't.